Can you say hi, wild ones?
Hello, wild ones. I am the pool monster. Not actually, though.
We're in Arizona.
We are in specifically El Mirage, Arizona. Think like Arizona, not Arizona. Think like Phoenix area.
And we are spending our spring break doing art and crochet and hanging out with my grandparents. It's exciting. So, this is the pool at the place we are, and it has the pool tables where you can sit in the pool and have a table. So I'm going to do a little art here. I'll show you what I'm going to work on. Okay, so I have my sketchbook here. I like to build a little sketchbook for the trip. It's pretty small. It's a little bit bigger than what I usually carry with me, but just enough to have fun with. And I found this little, I think it's a bougainvillea flower that was on the ground as we were walking to the pool. So I'm gonna do a little close-up look-see at this. I'm gonna look at it really closely, and then I'm gonna use Neo Color crayons to get a basic color shape in, and then maybe use a pen to add some textures. I don't think I have a Neo Color perfectly matching this, so instead I think I'm going to do red with a little bit of purple. I also have some gouache, so maybe I can do that. Let me take a look. I'm going to put some red down first, just to get started. So I'm starting with that Neo Color crayon. If you are liking this content, please like and subscribe and interact with this video. Anything you can do helps the channel quite a bit, and it's been such fun doing this work, and I just want to continue to focus on it, so I want to continue to grow this channel. And this is that Neo Color. It's kind of like a color crayon, but it's made of pigment that shifts around, so it's a watercolory or water soluble crayon. I strongly suggest you bring a clip. This day I didn't have my whole setup. I just had a little tiny. Um, so obviously that is the teeniest, tiniest of all palettes of gouache. And it's in dried form. I did spray it ahead of time, and I'm using a water pencil or a water brush as well. I love how gouache and the crayon interacts and gives you a little bit of ombre without much work. And I really enjoyed creating in the pool. It felt kind of silly at first, but it was so nice to be cool. And here is the flip through of the entire book. So I started with Arizona, and then I did this before I left. This is Alma Thomas. She's an artist who um, is an African American artist, American from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And her work consists of this kind of not quite a dot pattern, but more of a like dash pattern. And I used her as inspiration throughout the book to add color in different things. And this is a little Sprocket printer um, picture of a hummingbird I got during the morning creativity sessions or curiosity sessions. Here I am painting, actually in a different book. Um, this is my gouache book. I wanted to get one gouache painting, fully gouache in, and I um, some smaller sketches of the desert belt, which is what they call the kind of green area right behind my parents' house. I went to a Mariners game, almost died. It was so hot. It was the first day we were there, and we were both melting, but it was really fun. This is the end of the season party, me and my kiddo, and we actually took off from the party and went to the pool, and we were both laying on our backs in the pool and saw a shooting star together, and it was epic. The morning curiosity sessions also were accompanied by these
beautiful little doves. This is a picture I took on the desert belt as well, and will definitely become a painting, I'm sure. These are one of those collected imagery, landscape imageries from the drawing book that I did in color in this book and painted. My mom's beautiful bougainvillea outside their house. We went to this really fun party for my friend's artist. My friend's an artist, Tanya Lemma, and she's at Sun City West, and she ended up hosting a party for the Susan G. Komen Foundation, and one of her friends were selling these mannequin heads, and my mom bought one, and it was called the Queen. So we said the Queen comes home, and it was gold and red, but I really wanted to partner it with her bougainvillea, so I made it more pink, but very fun. And this is my celebration middle page of the elusive Dream javelina, and this is collaged, and I loved doing it, and I love these sassy animals. I think I'm gonna have to do a javelina miniature for sure. I went out to lunch with my girlfriend Jess and spent some time with her, and this was a Picasso dog drawing we did together. Here's some of the bougainvillea, more closer look. These are some eucalyptus leaves with my girlfriend. And our main goal, oops, this cracked off, that's too bad, was rest on this trip. We really put this goal together. This is my little Alma background. That my kiddo and I really decided that rest was the number one thing we wanted to do on the trip. And I'm very glad to say we accomplished that and got some really blessed time just hanging with my family. I still have some journaling to do here. Here's my dream inspired stylized hummingbird. And then this is that Saguaro Ranch Park. I love peacocks. So some fun pictures from that park. There's the bloom that I drew up in the other sketchbook, and I really love how this peacock turned out. We also love to thrift, so that we always try on silly hats while we're thrifting. That's my family. And then I had these really cool orange labels, so I just put them in my little keepsakes. And we had oranges right out the back door, so I was thinking about like what would the labels for the desert belt oranges be. Here's another Dylan's flamingo, El Mirage. This is the vomit bag for my flight, and I made a kind of double pocket with it. Here's the peacock painted out from my drawing book, the centerpiece, and I just cut off the bottom. This is a piece of collage paper I brought with me. It's a eco-printed paper, and I just was creative daily there, and I'm really taking that to heart as just a call to how my soul likes to be. And I had to put in some face trees in the back because they just were inhabiting my brain so vividly, and maybe that will become a miniature too. And then I always like to keep some notes on like what I should take forward and what ideas I have coming out of this, and I loved this little stylized cow head. So that is my section of Arizona. I also have this cool little drawing book, and this will be fodder for my creativity for a while. So hope you enjoyed those flip-throughs and enjoyed some of my footage for my painting in the pool and all the fun things we did there. Take care of yourselves, each other, and the earth.
This was my adventure painting on the vomit bag. I really thought the gouache actually laid down really nice on the slicker surface, and I enjoyed collaging on it too. It was kind of hilarious. I realized I hadn't put a pocket at all in the back of the book. Um, and when I felt it, I was like, ooh, this would be cool. I wonder if it would work for gouache. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to find some Yupo in my studio and see how gouache works on Yupo. I think it might be a really beautiful way to get some separation and some fun uh, pigmenty play on a slick surface. Hopefully it works out. We'll see. So yes, I did have fun making a little experimental, and this is under the same umbrella. It's a red umbrella that I painted on each morning, and I realize now how much it changes the color of the film. Sorry about that, but it was too hot to not have some shade. So some takeaways from travel journaling is if you keep a travel journal, you really remember your trip very well, and it you kind of get the textures of that trip in, and that's the things I'm always kind of looking for and adventuring through. I remember the love of the trip. I remember sometimes the highlights, but when I intentionally spend time creating, I remember those little tiny moments like the morning birds coming and visiting and the sound of uh, a hummingbird's wings right next to your ears and what the neighbor's name was and things like that that just don't come to you, um, at least me, if I don't spend time creating on it. I never uh, know a place as well as when I sketch it. I never see a place or a subject as well until I sketch it. So I really encourage that, even if you don't feel like you have a lot of innate sketching talent, even if you just put a couple of lines on paper or something that inspires you about the place you're visiting, a shape of a vase or something like that, and just capturing that along with a little bit of writing really, I don't know, increases my life by knowing just how much of the world I've really taken in and seen. And I feel like it makes me a more sympathetic traveler, a more curious traveler. And I'm always aiming for curiosity when I travel.
Nice. Just to meet the boys. Just to meet the boys.
Thank you for grabbing my art thing.
Moist flower. Oh, that sounds really weird taken out of context.